There are many wonderful creatures in the world. But because humans destroy habitats among other things, several species of animals are going extinct. Then, efforts are made to find the lost species. Scientists and people who work to protect wildlife are looking into ways to save what's left of rediscovered species. Here are some species that were thought to be extinct but have since come back to life. Number 10. Chapman's pygmy chameleon. One of the rarest chameleons in the world was found clinging to life. The Chapman's pygmy chameleon, which grows to about 2.2 inches, 5.5 centimeters, was found for the first time in 1992. It wasn't seen in the wild again until 2016. The chameleon was found in the rainforest by people from the South African National Biodiversity Institute and the museums of Malawi. About 80% of the rainforests in Malawi Hills, where the chameleons live, have been destroyed over the last 40 years, mostly for farming. The chameleon is in danger of going extinct, and the few remaining populations are spread out, which is bad for genetic diversity. The researchers want more surveys, monitoring of chameleon populations, and conservation efforts to protect what's left of the chameleon's habitat. Number 9. Black-browed babbler. The only black-browed babbler that has ever been caught was by German naturalist Karl A. L. M. Schwanner between 1843 and 1848. The specimen is now on display in the Netherlands at the Naturalis Biodiversity Center. It has been missing for 170 years, which is longer than any other Asian species that scientists know about. But two people who live in South Kalimantan, Indonesia, have seen the rare bird many times in the forest there. The photos were then sent to ornithologists, who confirmed that it was the black-browed babbler. The bird is bulky and has a short tail and a strong-looking bill. The top was dark brown, and the bottom was grayish with thin white stripes that went up to the breast. The bird has a unique face, with a chestnut-brown crown and a black eye stripe that goes from the eyes across the cheeks to the nape and sides of the neck. Number 8. Sierra Leone crab. Since 1955, no one has seen this small, colorful crab. Pierre Mvogo Ndongo, a professor and researcher at Cameroon's University of Douala, went to Sierra Leone, in West Africa, in 2021 to look for the crab. The expedition lasted for 3 weeks. He found 6 Sierra Leone crabs with the help of people in the area who helped him look for them. The crabs found in Sierra Leone live inland, in holes in the ground of the rainforest, away from water sources, and have learned to breathe air. Male Sierra Leone crabs have claws that are pinkish-purple and legs that are orange. Female crabs, on the other hand, have purple bodies and legs that are orange-yellow. Number 7. Coelacanth. People used to think that the coelacanth died out with the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. But when this strange fish with lobe-shaped fins was found in South Africa in 1938, people were very interested in it. This led to a discussion about how it fits into the evolution of animals that live on land. Coelacanth and its close relative, the Indonesian coelacanth, have some features that aren't found in other species. The most noticeable thing about the coelacanth is its pair of lobe fins, which stick out from its body like legs and move back and forth in a rhythm like a trotting horse. The fish also has a hinged joint in its skull that lets it open its mouth wide for big prey, an oil-filled tube called a notochord that acts as a backbone, thick scales that are only found on extinct fish, and an electrosensory rostral organ in its snout that is probably used to find prey. Number 6. Wallace's giant bee. Alfred Russel Wallace, a British naturalist, found the largest bee in the world in 1859. It is a huge, black insect that looks like a wasp and is as long as an adult thumb. It was thought to be extinct until 1981 when an entomologist named Adam Messer found some Megachile Pluto bugs that are now in museums. In January 2019, a group of conservationists from around the world went to Indonesia and followed Wallace's path to try to find the bee again. This was many years after the last time the bee was seen. After the hard trip, the group was able to record the live specimen, which gave them new hope for the species' survival. Number 5. Fernandina's giant tortoise. The last time the Fernandina giant tortoise was seen was 112 years ago, and people thought for a long time that it had died out. In 2019, an expedition led by Animal Planet host Forrest Galanti, the Galapagos Conservancy, and the Galapagos National Park Directorate found the female giant tortoise, GNPD. Geneticists at Yale University were sent a sample of blood. A group led by Dr. Gisela Cacone tried to figure out where the female tortoise came from genetically and how similar it was to the only other tortoise ever found on Fernandina Island. The people who found her called her Fernanda. DNA testing has since shown that she is related to the Chelonoidus fantasticus tortoise species that lives on the island. Scientists at the Galapagos Conservancy and GNPD have had these hopes for a long time, and these results prove them. Number 4. Aldabra rail. The Aldabra rail is native to the Aldabra Islands atoll, which is part of the Seychelles Islands in the southwestern Indian Ocean. The Aldabra rail, which was known as a bird that couldn't fly, died out when the water covered the island where it lived. The rail was able to re-evolve when the sea level dropped. Fossils of the Aldabra rail have been found dating back to 136,000 years ago and compared to a specimen that is around 100,000 years old. The study showed that the fossils look like the bones of modern rails. The return of the Aldabra rail is an example of evolution iteration, which is a rare event. Studies done by Dr. Julian Hume, an avian paleontologist at the Natural History Museum, and Professor David Martel, a paleobiologist at the University of Portsmouth, found that this behavior was unique to the Aldabra rail and had not been seen in other species of birds. With this evidence, it might be possible to do it again in the future. Number 3. Somali elephant shrew. Also called Senjis, the Somali elephant shrew was last scientifically recorded in the 1970s. The Somali Senji is a strange mix of different kinds of animals. Its body is about the size and shape of a mouse, but its legs are long and thin like those of a gazelle. This lets it run quickly across rocks. It also has a trunk-like nose similar to that of the elephant, which they use to suck up ants. Some of the Somali Senji's closest living relatives are the aardvark, the elephant, and the manatee. Even though people who lived there never thought it was gone, the last scientific record of it was in the 1970s. Stephen Heritage, a research scientist at the Duke University Lemur Center, and Galen Rathbun, a vertebrate behavioral ecologist from the California Academy of Sciences, along with Djibouti ecologist Houssine Rayala and local scientist Jama Wela, found the once-lost species during an expedition to the Horn of Africa in 2019. In 12 different places, the researchers set up more than 1,000 traps with peanut butter, oatmeal, and yeast as bait. During their 2-week trip, they were able to see 12 Senjis and get scientific documentation of them in real life. Number 2. Jackson's climbing salamander. Jackson's climbing salamander, also called the Golden Wonder because of its bright yellow color, was first found in 1975 by Jeremy Jackson. It was thought to be extinct until Tomas Ramos Leon, a park guard at a newly created amphibian reserve in the Cucumatanes mountain range, saw the salamander. Based on the pictures, Carlos Vasquez, who is in charge of herpetology at the University of San Carlos in Guatemala, then confirmed that the animal seen was the Jackson's climbing salamander. This happened after a Fundico, Foundation for Ecodevelopment and Conservation, campaign to teach park rangers how to spot these hard-to-find animals. The area was made bigger when a Jackson's climbing salamander was found on the edge of the reserve. The Finca Chiblak salamander and the long-legged salamander, both of which were found again in 2014, also live in the park. Even though it was found for the first time in 42 years, the Jackson's climbing salamander is still very endangered. Number 1. Santa Marta saberwing. The Santa Marta is an emerald green hummingbird that lives only in the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta in northeastern Colombia. In 2010, an experienced birdwatcher named Jurgen Vega was surprised to see a male Santa Marta saberwing hummingbird in the mountains. This was only the second time that the critically endangered hummingbird had been seen since 1946. Scientists had long thought that the species had died out. About the Santa Marta saberwing, not much is known. It lives in wet tropical forests and may move around. During the rainy season, they eat the flowers on plants. Only about 15% of the Santa Marta Mountains forest still exist, and the Santa Marta saberwing was found in an unprotected forest. Experts want more research and protection for this bird that is in danger of going extinct. So, guys, that was it for this video. What did you think about the video? Let us know in the comment section below. If you are new to our channel, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell to get notified about our latest videos. Thanks for watching.